Hey everyone, back again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is, but I feel like Lamb Dog is making a video every day now, or something like that. There's a lot of videos, and maybe you guys made videos too. It's just, we get to this groove too, where there's a lot of videos, and it's hard to catch up with everything, you know? And then somebody mentions something else, and we lose sight of what we're doing or whatever, but I will try to catch up on people's videos. And sometimes, you know, we just make our own off-the-cuff videos, and it has nothing to do with anybody else's videos, but then we maybe watch somebody else's video, and we come back and circle around and engage with their videos, what have you. But I will say, Lamb Dog, I do, or Southern Paladin, or what have you, I do like your walking videos. It's always nice to see and be out in nature. Now that the weather's a bit nicer, maybe I'll go a few walking videos too, because it's probably good for both our health to be out walking every day anyway. Yeah, I mean, most of our videos are about us talking anyway, so if we're filming a Toyota dashboard or my own dashboard here or whatever, it's mainly about us talking anyway, so it's the content rather than, you know, what you're viewing, I guess. But so back on the road again. I don't know. There's something uniquely American about highways, interstates, or what have you. It's just, there's something in our psyche that even in Europe, when I'm driving in Europe, it doesn't have the same feeling as an American road trip. It's uniquely American to be on a highway, I think. We forget how large our country is. I saw it when I was doing some over-the-road trucking, and I really loved that whole trucking thing. You know, in a month and a half, I drove 10,000 miles, and I went to 18 states. You know, I saw some beautiful things. I saw the cotton fields of Tennessee and gem mines of North Carolina. I saw the sunrises over the plains of Nebraska. I saw the mountains of Colorado. You know, the flour mills of Michigan. It was beautiful. There's a lot of stuff going on, and America is a beautiful country, and I really love it. It is unique. You know, the road trip too. There's something about having a full tank of gas too, or a diesel, or what have you, and just getting on the road and just going someplace. And there's some places you can just drive and you're still in the same state. You know, like Texas, for instance, you can just drive there and then drive for hours and hours, and you're still in the same state. Back in Europe, when I was driving for hours, I'd be in a new country. You know. It sounds pretentious, but you know, we were living in Switzerland. We drove to France to buy chicken and eggs and stuff, you know, because it was cheaper. You know, that's how it is in Europe. You know, it's like, I guess, going to another state here, but it's not the same. But there's something about it. In terms of the interstate system here too, here's a little tidbit for you. When you're driving from let's say east to west, you'll see that if you're looking at your exits and your road markers there, they'll be counting down. Okay, so for instance, here I'm getting to mile marker. I'm in Indiana here. I'm going to mile marker 27 here, right? So it's counting down, because that's how long I have until I leave the state, coming from east to west. So that means I got 27 miles until I hit Illinois from Indiana. So that's a little tidbit for you. And the same thing goes if you're going from south to north. It'll start counting up. So start from zero from the south until you hit, you know, going further north, it'll start counting upwards, and then vice versa. So if you're going from west to east, for instance, coming from Illinois to Indiana, you hit the border of Indiana, the exits is going to start counting upwards, you know. So from 0 and then until you hit the rest, and then it'll count up all the miles or what have you. So that's kind of neat. That's how that works. Oh, bummer! Some dude just got nailed by the sheriff, and that's something else too. And then I tell you what, and you know, America's so incredible because you got fucking municipal police sitting on the interstate, you got state troopers sitting on the interstate, and then you got freaking sheriffs sitting on the interstate too. You know, everybody will want to pull you over for some stupid shit in America because we have so many stupid law enforcement agencies. You know, we even got U.S. Mint Police, we got the U.S. Postal Police, we got the U.S. Railroad Police, we got police for everybody. Even my university in town has their own police department, you know. Even our community college has a police department. It's crazy. And there's the park police, there's so many police, the conservation police. We have so many police, I don't even know. We can bet, shoot, you know. Do we need all this police? In most of Europe, you only have like one police force, you know, the national police force. But here we have so many. That doesn't even include all the federal police forces we have. Which I guess postal police is federal, but you know what I'm talking about, you know. Just so many police forces. And like, some of them are just doing the same thing. They're just duplicating each other. So it's like pretty crazy. But that's another thing. But yeah, driving on interstate, I like it. It causes you to think a lot, you know. You have a lot of open road, and you got all these big rigs. I love the big rigs. It was a lot of fun, you know. Driving 80,000 pounds, you know, metal and plastic, I guess these days. But yeah, going through the hills and mountains of Pennsylvania, that's a doozy, I tell you what. At night, it's like all sweaty and stuff because you're like, man, I can't really see the curves at night because it's dark, and you don't know if some deer's gonna jump out in front of me and stuff like that, and can't really hit the brakes too much because you don't want to burn up the brakes. So you gotta use your shifters and your Jake brakes and stuff like that. So there's an art and science to driving a big rig, I'll tell you what. And I do miss it. It's like the last American cowboys being a truck driver, which is why I enjoyed it so much, because I had a little bit of this nomad spirit, the cowboy free spirit kind of thing, being on an open road, kind of like being on an open plains for the cowboy, you know. And seeing new towns and places, and it was really like you walk into the diners and stuff like that, you know, like throw a few coins at the waitress for a cup of coffee, you know, kind of like all that cliche. And man, I was into the cliche, dude. I went got myself a cowboy hat and everything, you know, and wore a trucker hat. Which, by the way, I understand why truckers now have those hats with, you know, kind of like the that are open, you know, like the aerations in the back, because truth be told, we don't shower a lot on the road, so our hair gets a little greasy and stuff like that. So having one of those trucker caps, I now understand why you have that, you know. So yeah, that's why. But yeah, there's something about it. And I tell you what, I slept like a baby. I slept like a baby in that truck. I didn't think I'd be able to sleep, but man, sometimes you're sleeping next to the people like running a reefer or idling at night when it's, you know, cold and stuff, and you've been working, you've been driving 11 hours a day or what have you, and you've been working like 14 or something, so you're exhausted. So it takes a lot for your mental capacity just driving too, because you have to really pay attention sometimes. So after you've drained all that mental energy or whatever, you just pass out. And I slept like a baby. It's probably some of the best sleep I ever had, and dreamt a lot too. So Yeah, it's good sleep on an interstate. The only problem with it is it's so hard to find a parking spot, because they say something like there's only one parking spot for every 11 trucks on a road. So that's why I see a lot of them on the ramps and shit like that, which are not supposed to park on the ramps or what have you. But there's like no parking spots, and then you regulate it so much that you literally just have to stop because you can't keep driving anywhere. So sometimes, if you don't do trip planning, you have to stop somewhere, or you'll be out of time and you get in real big trouble. And so it becomes a game of desperation trying to find a truck parking, and if you can't find anything, then you're screwed. So that's a big problem. I wish more people would think about that, especially people design trucking stuff, because they want you to just not drive forever, but then they just want you to disappear for 10 hours. And you're like, well, where the hell am I going to go? You're like, what if I can drive one more hour over my clock to find a safe parking spot? But they won't let you do that. So it's like, I really wish they would have more flexibility, allowing truckers themselves to regulate how they run their hours, because they should really be, they're the ones driving. They know what their body says. Like, if I can keep on driving, I'll keep on driving. If I can sleep 3 hours here and feel well rested and then continue on for 2 more hours, I should be allowed to do that and stuff, and that'll break up the clock, But you have to do it all of these segments, which is not so bueno. But I wish it was more kind of give us more freedom in that aspect. So not only that, then you have to chase the clock sometimes, and you have to, we need this load delivered by this and that time, and then you rush to get there, and then they're like, thanks for coming, and then you wait 6 hours to get unloaded. You're like, well, why the hell did I rush so fast to get here? You can't unload me for 6 hours, and then you get in trouble for all kinds of stuff, and it's like, man, forget this stuff, man. It's like that with any job, I guess. They want to squeeze everything out of you, so it's kind of sad. But at the same time, if you're into lifestyle, you're into lifestyle, and it is a lifestyle. It's a commitment, and it's a big thing, and I miss it sometimes. But unfortunately, I had some family emergencies I had to take care of, so I had to quit that. And maybe when my kids are a little bit older, I'll redo it again and try it again when I have a little bit more freedom to be out on the road again. I worked this hard, so I'm going to keep my CDL license, that's for sure. But yeah, man, you kind of feel like you feel like well, I don't know. I feel like a real fucking man, driving a big rig and strapping loads in and shit, and doing stuff, and then going to truck stops, and it's kind of cool. You get a certain kind of respect too for doing that. So it is valuable stuff that you're doing too, because nothing moves in America without trucks, and I was happy to do it. I hauled solar panels from Indianapolis to Tennessee. I hauled medicine from Virginia to Illinois, and I hauled dog food from Nebraska to I think St. Louis. I hauled Caterpillar parts from Illinois to Atlanta, I believe. Hauled popcorn, back from Georgia up to Menards or whatever in Michigan, I think. Yeah. And from Michigan, flour from Michigan bakery, flour from Michigan to Indianapolis bakeries and stuff like that. So I hauled a lot of different stuff, and that was really cool. Tires for Michelin, plastic for Rivian. So I did my part for like the environment, I guess. So yeah, it's really cool. And that was my childhood dream too, to be a truck driver. And I'm glad I did it. Which is, you're never too old to really try something new. Which is why I love America so much too. Because in America you can pretty much try and do whatever the hell you want. That's why I still believe in America, and I love America. I love everything about America. It is the land of opportunity. You just gotta go for it, and you can go for it. I mean, I've had people that are friends that are in the 40s and 50s or whatever, and then they became commercial airline pilots too. And look at me. I was almost in my 50s when I got my truck driver's license to start doing that. And then I've got people in their late 40s too that just went back to school, became a nurse. You can do. And then I had a guy that retired. Working with AIMA, and Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and he became a police officer. So, and he was retired, man. So you can be anything you want if you try to. And then there's all there. What I love about America is to think out of the box. You can break some rules too, the age requirements. Sometimes you get exemptions for that and stuff like that. So as long as you can pass some physicals and stuff like that, you can. And you have the cojones to go for it. You can go for it. That's what I love about America. And you don't see that in Europe. They're so rigid sometimes, and they're like, "No, you're too old," or "No, you can't do that," or "No, you're thinking out of the box. You can't do that." It's like in America, like, "Yeah, we can try to find a way. We'll try to work with it, but okay." But you can't do that in Europe. There's such bureaucrats. We got bureaucrats in America too, but it's a little more freedom in America, which is why I love. And I want us to keep that freaking freedom, man. I want us to be able to just let people be people and do whatever the hell we want, and let's just get the government out of the way, man. And let people do business on their own. I think the government should only be there to enforce some contracts between people, so make sure nobody gets scammed and stuff like that, and make sure they have some court of law. And if somebody murders somebody, they get arrested and tried or what have you. But other than that, we should just allow people to interact with each other, and do business, and stay out of the way. And just keep us safe, so nobody poison our food and stuff like that, obviously. But other than that, just laissez-faire. That's my point, anyway. Because the market, in a way, I think, will regulate itself to a certain degree, which is to say, well, there has to be some kind of regulation, because you know how the robber barons try to poison everybody and scam everybody and, put fillers in meat and shit like that. We don't want that shit. But we want healthy competition, because, if you're making a good product, then eventually somebody else will come along and make a better product, what have you, and so it's a natural competition or whatever. And if you try to scam customers too much, they'll walk away. Anyhow, that was a lot to digest. I'm just freeloading here, boys. So I'll cut it out of that, but hopefully you enjoy some of my videos and some of my ramblings. I enjoy making these videos for you. And you guys are actually lucky I'm not doing any truck driving, because you might have been getting a freaking video every single day of me driving, and then you get so bored. Anywho, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.